The 20th century didn't get off to a good start because Max announced to us all, a lot of you here, that he was selling Rangoon. Now that was a house in Darlinghurst which we all adored because it was a central focus for all great activities in Sydney. The best parties in Sydney were Max's party and Rangoon. Thank you. I knew I'd get that response.
I'll cry.
We went into a deep decline when we heard he was selling this place. But worse was to come. He also announced that he was not only selling Rangoon, but he was leaving Sydney. Well, that really set us back. Here's this guru of advertising, here's this Mr. Sydney, here's this party giver par excellence. Here he is, deserting, going back to where he apparently born. Queenslanders always, if you're a Queenslander, I'm told you're always a Queenslander, and you'll always, sooner or later, get back to your roots. Well, he decided to do it, much to our despair. However, he then emerged with a new idea, with something rather fascinating. He said he was going to buy, or had already bought, I'm not quite sure, a 6-acre, 7-acre property, which was surrounded by a creek with trees, and he showed us the designs of a house which was absolutely stunning, and we were delighted to see that it included guest bedrooms, and it even had a lake. So we thought, it was a funny lake, it didn't have water, but it was a thought that counted. So all of a sudden we have Max Sydney translated into this extraordinary environment which we all visited and loved. And out the back we discovered he had this enormous shed thing, a tent, marquee, with thousands of orchids. Now, somehow or other I had missed the concept that he was devoted to orchids at Rangoon. I was probably too drunk to recognise that in fact there were orchids around, spread around the place. When I got to, well, did that place have a name? Your new place?
No, Vanity House.
Vanity House.
It's Vanity House in Door Gardens.
There you go, Vanity House. That's well known. So we went up there and we discovered Max was deeply involved in new learnings. He was wrestling with a computer, and he wrestled for the rest of the first decade of the new century. He taught the computer how to draw. Apple Macintosh didn't, is it Macintosh? Just Apple. Apple didn't realise that it could do what Max discovered it can do, and he did it. Now, don't ask me how he achieved this extraordinary circumstance. I have just recently learned how to send and receive emails. So Max is something of a genius, and I was speaking to him this week about his devotion to orchids and to the bushland. And we discovered that in fact his early life was spent on the edge of a rainforest where as a small child he used to draw constantly, pen and ink and wash. So I didn't realise he had that sort of background in drawing. You can tell he's a drawer. You can tell the drawer. So all of a sudden, with this new, to us, Max emerged to our delight. And all of a sudden, books began to appear across the world. The first book, The Enchanted Orchid.
The Enchanted Orchid, yes.
Has sold, may I tell you, 10,000 copies. And if I fully suggest there are about 3 or 4 left.
There are 300, 10,000 less than 300.
They're available for purchase tonight, and I strongly suggest you have it. They're being purchased by not only by orchid enthusiasts throughout the world, but by research institutions in various countries. And there are 2 other books, all of them valuable. The third one's only available online.
That's right. I'm
so they're here, they're available, and I strongly suggest you have it. And I'm delighted to say that I have a first edition. Thank you for that. That was really good. He also does freelance photography. His photographs are fantastic for Vogue, House and Garden, you name it, he does it. How do you describe what he does? Are they botanical drawings? They go well and truly beyond botanical drawings, but that's I think their starting point. I've expressed it this way. They're botanical drawings enriched by the imaginative interpretations of a creative artist. Do you like that? Indeed, I'll say it again because I like it. They're botanical drawings enriched by the imaginative interpretation of a creative artist. They are vibrant, they're bold, they're alive, and they take me to a place that no other botanic drawing takes me. They take me to a different place entirely, and I hope you agree. I think they're a bloody triumph, and there's a fair few of them around to witness that triumph. Max, I'm delighted to welcome you home.
Thank you, sir.
It was Sydney as a home.
Yes, it is.
And come back frequently.
My whoopee cushion. Whoopee cushion. I live in Brisbane, I come here for whoopee cushion, you know? So I couldn't get it out.
I don't know what a whoopee cushion is, but
Well, that means you're happy.
So, welcome, Max, and with an absolute delight, I open this exhibition.
Thank you. Well, how do you follow that one? Gaz is part of the 8 of us, four husbands, 4 wives, friends, formed a family when I came down here, and he looked after me all the way along the line. And I thought about who would talk tonight and things like that. Oh, well, so it's got to be family because I know such a lot of you. And the new ones, I'm pleased to meet you, and I thought it's got to be someone that knows me. I didn't know he knew me that well. He'd been doing some homework.
Never.
I want to do a couple of thank yous. I shouldn't do this, but I have to say to Priscilla Yates, to Mark Roder, to Mary Vanderwerl, Peter Morris, who didn't get me the right trees, and Suzanne Blake. You know, they put this together for me. All I did was come here and stick it up on the walls, you know, and here it is, and I'm so happy. In front of me is John Dobbin and his wife Lisa, and John is the young man who was a greenie who was the hot salesman for Apple Mac. And I was doing a sort of a magazine called Echo. I was going to do this in my house, and Priscilla was being business manager. It was all sort of involved. And Gail Heath was Gail was being our creative director, and I only blew $80,000. Jesus. and I used to look over and say on the computer, move that there. I will never use it. Move that there. Move that there. And when I was going away, Priscilla said to me, "There's a thing called a folder, and if you get in there, you can't do any harm." So when they were away, and it was on a thing called Quark Express, everyone know that one? Anyway, Quark Express, and I had little coloured bubbles, and I could pull them together. And bit by bit, I pulled them together, and when they got back from their holidays and Christmas and New Year, there was the fat lady at the beach with the lobster biting into an English poster. And John said, "How do you do that?" I said, "I just do that." Get a computer. So he got a computer, and he sat me in front of it very quickly. So all my years, because as Mark wants me to say, the computer is just the tool. It was pen and wash when I was a kid. I was drawing flowers when I was 5, 6, 7, trees, birds, you know. And it's come through pen and wash and all these things. And it happens to be where we are today, you know. But it moves. But John would send his experts in, and they would say, "Don't do it. Tell me just how it is. Tell me how to do it." Oh, it was awful. And it went on for a year. And he went with it. Lisa, then being his secretary, I didn't know they were playing together, but there you are. and she watched it all go through. And finally I said, "John, why is it they're not laughing?" He said, "They've never seen anyone, they're technicians, they've never seen anyone draw on a computer before." Now, lots of kids do it today, so it's nothing special. But the ability to draw is the whole thing. If you can't draw, don't do it. but it's sort of... It's very easy, sort of a line treatment as you would do pen and wash. You're just drawing in line with a pencil, then you bring in the colours, the overlays and all the things. But colour has always been a thing, and so that's where the computers become good, because colour has allowed me to express myself fully. But I do want to thank John and Lisa for sticking with me through that. I will never...
Well, look at all this. It's fantastic.
Thank you. I don't know what else to say. I'm going to close. It won't be a long one. Priscilla Yates' dad, Alan Yates, was a wonderful writer. And he used to watch me and send, when Priscilla was a little copywriter and things with us for the evening, and he would send messages in through Priscilla, and he watched me from a distance, and he sent me a quote in from the, oops, no, oops! Sorry about this. That's right. He sent me a thing in the quotes for the Glass Menagerie, and it was the opening lines of Tom's speech. And I'll try and do it. Yes, I have things in my pocket. Yes, I have tricks in my sleeve, up my sleeve. But I'm unlike the stage magician who gives you the illusion of truth. I give you truth in the pleasant disguise of illusion. There it is. And that's what this is all about. Thank you.
Very nice.